Hey friends, Miss Apula here. Today we're creating non-objective string art. So this is an example of what it would look like. And a few things we're going to talk about is what does it mean for a piece of art to be non-objective, and we're going to talk about different kinds of lines. So non-objective art basically just means that there's not any specific subject in your image, not anything that we can kind of define or locate. So specifically in my image, I used lines to fill the space. So we're going to be talking about a few different lines, whether it's zigzag, curvy, wavy, crosshatched, you name it or you think of it, you could place it in your non-objective art. The things that we need for this project include a variety of paints. I specifically used 3, so you can pick out 3 different colors. Some string, and then I have, besides the paper itself, I have placed into 3 different cups my 3 different colors, and then I added just a little bit of water to each. And in each of these, I have cut a piece of string that's just a little bit longer than the paper itself. And then with that mixture of paint and water, I have put a paintbrush in there. Sticking out of the cup, I've left a little bit of space for the string itself to pull it out and touch it without it getting on my fingers. So once I have, I'll say all together again, 3 different colors of paint, some string cut into the 3 different cups. That's just a little bit longer than your paper. I have also put a paintbrush into each of them. And then we'll be ready to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to start with one color first. I'm going to have my paper ready to go so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Is I'm going to pick up the string where I can hold it without getting paint on my hand, and then down into the cup, I'm going to paint the string. As I'm pulling it up carefully, I'm just kind of pressing down the string into the cup as I'm pulling it up. You don't want it really dripping wet, but you do want it to be covered with the paint and water mixture. Alright, so I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to bring it over to my paper, and then I'm going to kind of put it down, not straight, but I'm going to kind of put it down into the paper, and then I have my little extra piece at the end that is not wet with the paint. Once I have the string down, I'm not going to touch it yet, but I am going to take another piece of paper and I'm going to lay it down flat over the string and the other paper. Okay? Once that is flat down over it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hand on top of the paper and the string, and then the other hand I'm going to pull out the string with the paint. Now the goal is to not let the papers move, only the string move out. And be careful when you're pulling this out, because you don't want the string to kind of flip out quickly and get it on yourself. I'm just pulling straight out and down. Okay. I'm going to gently lift this up so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm actually going to repeat those steps a few more times with my other 2 colors. So next I'm going to grab the pink. I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure the string is in the pool of color. Take my paintbrush, press it into the string as I pull the string out. Oh, it's getting knotted a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to move the string over to the paper, and I'm going to kind of lay it down differently this time. But I am going to close it right back over once that string is down. Try not to smudge it, just pressing it straight into it. Then I'm going to do the same thing where I hold the paper with one hand and then the other hand I'm going to try to pull the string straight out. This is what we have so far. It's looking nice. I love that pink. That one turned out really well. I think it's because it had a little bit more water in it. Next, I'm in my last color, my orange. Now you could do one color, you could do two colors. I just suggested 3. So just if you have like one color paint doesn't mean that you can't do this project. You could do it with one color, 2 colors, 3 colors. I wouldn't really go over 3 colors just because you don't want it to blend in and get too crowded. So I would say 3 is kind of like a perfect amount. All right. I'm going to try to find some open areas here. Thank you, little girl. You coming to help us out? All right. I'm going to close this up. And I'm really hoping this last color will come through nicely. Pull it through. While I'm holding the other side down. And then let's lift it up and see. Yeah, that looks really cool. I'm excited. So this is the final product. What you'll notice is you'll have 2 because you have both sides where the string was in between. Now what I did to kind of make it even more non-objective like you see in this one was I let it dry, and then after I let it dry I went in with the details of the different lines that we mentioned earlier, and you can make up some of your own lines as well. I got swirls, curves, wavy, just as many as you can imagine and think of. I've placed them into kind of the curves and the crease and the open areas to create that non-objective art, because like we talked about, non-objective meaning there's not any specific subject in there, so it's kind of like random things, or we've maybe talked about Zentangle before. So use those ideas, use those different lines, fill it in with a Sharpie or a pen if you prefer. Now if not, then you could always kind of leave it like this because this has a nice outcome as well. But I really hope to see you guys in the comments with pictures of your own, and I also hope to see you soon for the next lesson. Bye guys!